So my name is Rouwaida Mohamed. I'm 12 years old. I'm about to turn 13 in 3 days. I live in Egypt in Giza. So yeah. Okay. So my project is called Freshwater. With my project, we can turn seawater into fresh drinking water with a simple and cheap way to help the people in Gaza. First, we're going to talk about the problem of big stations. First is the cost of desalination. Converting seawater into fresh drinking water at a large scale takes an enormous amount of energy, which makes it a costly effort. Second, the size. The station can be bombed from how big it is. But first, we will take a look about how to describe water. Water. About 97% is seawater and like 2.5% is drinking water. In 20 years, 47% of the world's population will live in areas subject to serious water scarcity. 40% of us live near the coast, and those 40% don't have access to fresh water, and without it, people will be thirsty, sick, and etc. Why dirty water is dangerous. Unclean water and poor sanitation have claimed more lives over the past 100 years than any other cause. The water crisis claimed more lives through disease than any war through guns. Um, every year, 3,575,000 people die from water-related diseases. This is equivalent to a jumbo jet crashing every hour, and most of these people are children, which are 2.2 million. With my invention idea, we can turn seawater into fresh drinking water. My project consists of a water pump, a water filter, a material to cover the water filter, which we have three options. Then we have an aluminum jerry can and a water hose. First, this is the design. The first step is we press on the water pump. The water hose takes the seawater and puts it inside of the filter. Then the filter filters the water, and we're supposed to have a fire under the jerry can. So the water would evaporate and it would go up to this cold surface right here. Then it would have fresh water. But first, but after like the whole process, we press on these two buttons and like we take out the salt from the bottom part, which we can use later for cooking and anything. So yeah, then we can do this whole process again after we finished. Thank you.
That was very impressive.
Thank
So usually when it comes to these kinds of water filter designs, many of the presentations that I've seen, they're also sort of similar. But when I saw that diagram you made, I was thinking, wow, this thing has a lot of different names and details. So did you design all that yourself, right?
Yeah.
All that. So when I saw the filter options, I was like, well, this is really specific, and it's not just like, oh, just put like a mesh or just a sieve or something like that. I was like, polyamide with 40% graphite. You have real numbers there, which is like incredibly impressive. So when you were thinking about the water filters, like, how did you come up with these super scientific inventory names or options for the filter?
Well, like for the filter, I like wanted to go and like uh okay, one second. Let me think about this. So
Go
for the
ahead, go ahead.
filter, we had to get like a water cover like sorry. We had to get a material to cover the water filter so it doesn't melt.
Whoa,
So
okay.
yeah. So these three are like the cheapest options, but they're really good too.
So the polyamide with 40% graphite, did you like test that yourself? Like how did you know if it's supposed to be 40% or not 50 or 30%? Or is that
I
like a
did a lot
standard?
of research, yeah. But I
Ah,
don't have
okay.
the model with me, but I did a lot of research.
Okay. So in theory, in theoretical, it should work based off your scientific calculations.
Yeah.
That's very impressive. Hey, Taiwan has a question, I think. So go ahead, Taiwan.
Okay, so yeah, I do have a question. So, um, This invention is great. It can help lots of people, ranging from big to small people, especially those who have no water at home due to
Yeah.
natural disasters or accidents. Yeah. So, my question is, who is your target market? Who are the people you are planning to sell this to? Who are you planning to give this to? Basically, that's my question.
Yeah, as I said at first, I wanted to help the people in Gaza, but maybe after the war, other people can also use that.
Okay, so that's great. Thank you for the question. I mean, thank you for the answer.
No problem.
Have you already like proposed this idea to any form of like manufacturers or maybe small form like factories that could help produce this product?
Yeah, I have like showed it to some engineers or doctors like that are like specified in this type of things. And yeah, they will help me soon to like start.
If in theory you were able to get to the manufacturing part, how many of of this product would you want to be distributed like within a 5 kilometer radius or something? Like how many per kilometer squared or something like that? It does not make sense. Like how much of this do you want to be deployed within your area?
Uh, well, here in Egypt, some like a lot of areas have like the water out on them, so I'd say it's a pretty good amount.
You know, that is a solid answer because you know there's still a lot of things that we could be doing over here. So honestly, honestly, so this is more like a silly or personal question. What was the one thing that frustrated you the most when you were designing this? Like it almost made you want to pull out your hair or something like that.
So like maybe like when I had to make the model because sometimes I couldn't find a great enough website or app that made good models, and sometimes the model would get deleted, so I had to do it all over.
Honestly,
But
I
other
feel you.
than that, it was pretty easy. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think this is an idea you want to push forward into maybe a business for your area? In the future, like
Yeah,
maybe in
definitely.
5 years or 10 years, or when you're old enough to like own a business yourself, because you know, like you said, you're only 12, I believe, and turning
Yeah.
13, which is incredible for someone that young to already have a whole design in. Wait, what did you use to design this, by the way? Speaking of which.
Uh, okay, right. So I don't really remember the app, but it's like I took it because like I remember the app because I took it in like a programming lesson. So that's how I remembered it, but now I don't really remember the name.
Mhm.
All right. So, does anyone else have any questions? Actually, I'd like to ask so that I'm not the only one asking questions, just in case somebody has one. Asher or Annika, do you guys have questions? I think they're still thinking. Okay, so based off what you've researched about the filters that you're using, what do you think is like the percentage of the amount of impurities that would be filtered out from water, like on average? You could just give a guess if you didn't do the numbers yet, you could just like give a guess like 50% or something like that.
Like so like there is like a lot of sand in the ocean, so when like the hose takes in the water, there will be a lot of sand. So obviously I'll say like about uh well, but first in the hose, at the start of the hose, there's supposed to be like a small net that um declines all of the big objects like the rocks and things. So of course like only the little particles will go in. So I'll say about 56%.
That's a very specific number.
I don't know.
No,
I
oh
wanted to
no,
go
it's
less,
good.
but
It's a
I'm
good
not sure.
number. So you said ocean water, right?
Yeah.
Is there any, what do you plan to do with the salt that might be left or deposited after? Like, because
Uh,
obviously it seems like I'm looking at the diagram right now because I took a screenshot.
oh, you took a screen.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's just so I could, look at it on how impressive it is. And I believe sometimes the salt might be like end up clogging some parts or end up being deposited like heavily.
okay.
So is it something that you're just going to like clean out every once in a while?
Yeah, like Uh, wait, okay, let me just show again. Here, like after the whole process, the sea salt will stay at the bottom part. The people will push on these two buttons, and they can take out the salt. They can use it for like cooking and things. Yeah.
Honestly, that's very reasonable. So I would like to say very big thanks to the inventor of this water filter. I'm very impressed, very impressed that you were able to come up with something like this, especially with a diagram that detailed and with filter choices that scientifically accurate and varied. So thank you so much. Keep up the good work. And
Thank,
honestly, I'm just hoping that in the future I'm gonna be drinking water. I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna see in the name of the brand that made it, and it's gonna be your name on it. Okay.
thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, and have a great day.